Have you ever been invited out on a first or second date with a woman that involved meeting her friends? Or maybe there's a girl you're really excited about, you haven't slept together yet, and you've been thrown for a curveball because she's taking the lead to plan something, but you're worried because that plan might be something that doesn't bode well with deepening the connection. Well, if this is you, you'll want to tune into this short mini episode where we talk about exactly what you should do if a woman invites you out on a date that could possibly involve meeting her friends. If you screw this up, you'll sabotage all the hard work you've done to get to this point. But if you know what to do, you'll win her over. I guarantee it. You're listening to the Inner Confidence Podcast, home to the social funnel method. My name is Robbie Kramer. I've been a coach since 2007, and I've helped over 1,300 digital nomads, expats, and remote workers build an amazing social and dating life abroad. My mission is simple: to help you position yourself to meet stunning women and make awesome friends en route to becoming the most confident and attractive version you can be. I have an intense hatred for fluff and useless advice that you can't take action on, so tune in each week to learn the most effective and implementable strategies to level up your game. So stick around, let's go. I met this girl day gaming in New York City. She was like a 30-year-old Brazilian. I was also 30 at the time. And she had her shit together. She was like an attorney, made a lot of money. And, I approached her. Interaction went really well. She was with her friends. I met her friends. Her friends seemed cool. And then later that night, she actually invited me out to a nightclub for one of her friends' birthday parties. So it was kind of a similar situation, right? She's like, but I realized it was like all her friends. She had all the status. I'm just showing up as like this sort of date, right? And
exactly, yeah.
When I was there, right, like the easy thing would have been to just kind of be this like clingy hanger-oner, like just follow her around and try to connect with her and chat with her and blah, blah, but like that would have been lame. So basically what I did was I kind of ignored her, but talked to all of her friends, like made friends with the guys, made friends with some of the girls, and like basically just like didn't give her any attention at all. So she would chase me. But it was subtle. So it's not like she really knew I was doing that, right? It was just like, wow, this guy's really social. He's fun. I was playing like Truth or Dare with like her friends. It was like in a nightclub situation. So it wasn't like a real Truth or Dare, but maybe we were playing Never Have I Ever or something, but, it was loud and we're kind of at this like it wasn't even like a legit bottle service table where it's like cordoned off. We were just kind of all in this like area. So what happened was I could just see her getting more and more attracted as the night went on. And then eventually, like, even though she was super social and like the hottest girl in her group and at the place, eventually she like I could just feel the tides turning and she was totally into me. And she like, one point I took her outside, we started making out, and then I ended up going back and banging her at this like legit penthouse she had in Harlem. And then she kept on mentioning like, oh, you're so fun, you're so social, my friends loved you. So like that's the move, it's like, don't try to be like, she invited you, great, you're on a date, but make it more about being social and she'll just start chasing you around, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure. It'd be hard to execute though, but yeah. Because the easy way is like just hang out with her the whole time and be like, okay, what do we do next? What do we do next? Like,
yeah, that's garbage, right? So like basically what you have to do is you have to do the dating protocol slightly in reverse, right? So like in this situation that I just described, like we started at a venue 3. We were at a couples experience, except we weren't a couple, right? And what happens when you do a venue 3 without a proper venue 2 and without that connection and that physical connection, like kissing, is it's super easy to get friend zoned, right? Because you can just look boring because there's no sexual tension. So that's why I kind of had to play that ignore her, connect with her friends game, right? I needed her to work. And then once I felt the attraction was there, then I isolated her. I took her outside. We were making out. That was kind of like the venue 2. And then it was straight back to her place, venue 4, right? So you can change the order. Just be aware of, where, like how that seduction needs to happen. And this was over the course of about 7 hours, right? We were out partying from, we probably met up about 10. ended up back at her place. Like, it was a New York City nightclub, so it didn't close until 4. We had to take the train back to Harlem. We were probably fucking by it's not like there was any resistance or anything once we got back to her place, and she's 30 years old, so it's not like I had to play the, not gonna do anything game, right? But from it was probably like a 5.5, 6 hour time spent before we ended up back at her place and smashing. So I would think of it in those terms, right? You're starting with a V3, have fun with everyone else. She's going to start chasing you, then make out with her, and then think about doing it like a dummy, like depending on how old this girl is and how down she is, right? Sometimes you need to put like a fake venue 4 or a venue 3 before the real venue 4, right? Like this girl was basically like, yeah, let's go back to my place. So I was like, okay, it's easy. But had she resisted, I would have been like, oh, let's go to this smoked shisha and then let's go like to this other place. So I would have kept it going, if that makes sense.
Yeah. She just texted me the invite. It starts at 5, but she says he can't get there at 6. Cocktails and light bites will be served 5 to 8 p.m., but she says 6.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what you're going to, your job is to be super social and to, don't be a clinger.
Okay. And then when I get there,
and listen, if she's all over you and she's like giving no attention to anyone else, then
be calibrated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't like push her away. Like,
right. But this girl that I'm in my story, she was like giving me very little.
Right. Exactly. I mean, that's what you expect to happen, right? I mean, you don't know this person. You're in a super social environment. They're with all their friends. They're going to be hanging out with their friends more than they're going to be hanging out with you, probably. You're just kind of like there. And then if you just like follow them the whole night, they're going to be like, hey, this guy's a fucking loser. It's just kind of being annoying. It's like randomly here. Like it's just like, it's just like, it's not a good thing. Right.
Yeah.
I was hesitant to even accept this, even though it sounds really fun, because there's a really high chance if you play it wrong, but you're going to get fucked. So even if
we're not going to do that now. Now you're set up.
Hopefully not. But you'll see.
There's nothing you can do to fuck it up except, what you already know not to do.
Right. It's hard not to like fall into that trap, though. Especially like.
Yeah, I mean, you got to hit the ground running right when you get there. Think of it as like doing a few social freedom exercises by talking to other people, right? Like you got to get warmed up quick. What really helped me that night is the fact that I was out doing day game that whole day. Like I met her, I had done that approach. I probably approached like 4 or 5 other chicks walking around Midtown that day. So I was already in like a really social mood, and I just parlayed that energy into the night.
And so then should I like meet her there, or should I get her before her because she's coming late, or like how should I schedule the logistics?
I wouldn't meet her before because it's too early,
Yeah, right.
So
like just like wait in my car and wait till she gets there, or like what? Like around what she expects?
I mean, maybe tell her, let's meet out front and walk in together, or I can pick you up.
Yeah, sure.
Something like that.
Sure. Okay. I mean, I think she's coming from work, so.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I think it would just be an odd time to meet before, and if she's got work, she's not going to have time, and yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And think of the venue, like, I don't know what this place is like, but like, obviously there's many venues within the venue too. So,
Right. Yeah, I know I know the layout very well. Been there many times.
Good.
There's like a little patio area, there's a bar area, there's a little lounge area. So
nice. Yeah, I was moving this girl around, I was moving the friends around, I was talking to other random people, like lots of movement, lots of connecting, lots of vibing. It'll be good. So says, I wish I knew this story 4 years ago. A girl invited me to her city to a Christmas party, and I puppy dog the entire time. We were even sleeping in the same bed. Did not fuck. I even went home to her place without her. She went to another bar with a group of friends. Puppy dog. I love that. Yep.
It's nothing that's in that story is exaggerated.
Trust me, I puppy dogged before, and that's how I learned to not puppy dog. Probably the time before I had the wind story. Biggest puppy dog fail I've ever seen was on my Birthright Israel free trip. This soldier ended up hooking up with the hottest girl, and then she invited him to visit her in Chicago. And he just did like, basically just showed up, you know, as a broke puppy dog. And after like 2 days, she was messaging in our group like, he has a small dick, he's a fucking loser. And she was fucking him in Israel. So like, we know that the small dick thing wasn't a problem then, right? If he even had one. So it just goes to show like how you fuck up that energy, these girls will turn on you. They're savage. You go from the man to a fucking loser with a small dick. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you're a regular listener and you're digging our content, do me a favor, leave us a 5-star review. It's how other people learn about the show and how we can spread the word. If you don't feel like it's worthy of 5 stars, just go ahead, don't leave any review at all. And I want to let you know that we've opened up a few slots in our exclusive community. We're accepting applications to join our select group of men and experience the radical power of accountability, step up your game, cross everything off your sexual bucket list, and become a beast at accomplishing all of your goals. To learn more and apply, go to innerconfidence.com/community.